for this week's AgNet Weekly, I'm talking with USDA Undersecretary for Marketing and Regulatory Programs and fifth-generation California farmer, Jenny Lester Moffitt. We're talking about new USDA programs for specialty crops. I'm Sabrina Halvorson. Let's get into this week's AgNet Weekly. So we wanted to talk about specialty crops this morning. Tell me what is new and what USDA is doing for specialty crops.
Yeah, Sabrina, thank you for having me here today to talk about some of the challenges and opportunities facing the specialty crops industry. So USDA in the fall launched a specialty crops competitiveness initiative. This is really aimed at enhancing and partnering with the specialty crop industry across the USDA to make sure, first, the resources that USDA has for producers are pulled together in one place, so producers have one-stop shop to learn more about all the resources we have, but then also to hear from producers about how our resources can continue into the future to better serve specialty crop producers. I'll just say, first off, what are specialty crops? Specialty crops are things like fruits, they're vegetables, they're nuts, flowers, and nursery products are part of that as well. So that means things like apples, potatoes, blueberries, of course, tart cherries, and many different things that are grown around the nation. Specialty crops are things that we see on our plate each and every day and are really healthy and delicious, and that's an important part of American agriculture.
Absolutely. And so I report a lot on specialty crops, and there in the past has not been a huge focus on providing access to programs for specialty crops like there has been for a lot of, for the other crops like the soybeans and wheat. So with doing this, what is the hope for your final outcome with providing these programs?
Yeah, our hope is to continue to ensure that specialty crop producers remain competitive and can continue to improve their sustainability and profitability of their operations. This is really about a number of initiatives that USDA has launched in this administration to ensure that our programs increase competition for producers of all sizes. We're working to help ensure that producers can get fair prices for their products and have more markets, both domestic and international, to sell their products to. So the Specialty Crop Competitiveness Initiative is the first of its kind at USDA, and it is really designed to be a whole of USDA approach to support specialty crop producers. So that is all of us at USDA coming together, recognizing that across our different agencies at the department, we touch on and support specialty crop producers, whether that is things through crop insurance designed for specialty crop producers, to research, to market and promotion opportunities. And I think that's really important because specialty crops have unique challenges. Specialty crops are certainly have different pest challenges for their crop, and then, of course, across the country, too. So pest challenges that can be just devastating to the crop. Of course, weather-related and climate-related challenges, whether it's too much heat, too early frost, all of those different things. Hailstorms are different challenges that producers have, as well as market access and making sure that specialty crop producers have high-value markets so that we're bringing more of that food dollar back to the family farm.
And just this week, I was actually at a fruit summit, and I was speaking with a researcher there who is researching a very specific part of fruit and how to keep it protected, and it's actually the fruit cuticle, which is part of the skin. And we discussed the importance of research for specialty crops, for fruit specifically, which was what he was studying, but what's included for research in these initiatives?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're doing direct research at USDA through the Agricultural Research Services. We're also funding research in partnership with industry and research institutions. And so earlier this week, on Monday, I was able to join Senator Stabenow in Michigan to announce the specialty crop block grant funding for this year. It's $72.9 million. And the program is in partnership with the State Department of Agriculture. And the aim is to enhance the competitiveness of specialty crops. And it funds research, it funds education, and it funds market promotion for specialty crops. And you're on the research piece, that is such an important part. So you talked about, different challenges. So there are challenges, of course, related to, and what I heard from producers earlier this week in Michigan, things like food safety challenges, making sure that we can continue to grow and produce food, also addressing food safety issues. I heard things like new cultivar development, new varieties to be developed that are more resilient to different weather-related challenges that we'll have that we have now and will continue to have into the future. I heard things like production research, right? Mechanization, new technologies to be able to address some of the labor issues that we have across the country so that we're able to keep the same workforce but be able to grow production with the same workforce doing more mechanization, more automation. We certainly saw that in some of the packing houses in Michigan as well. So those are just a few pieces of research that's being done. There are many different pest issues and disease issues that are facing specialty crop producers, and so we partner and fund a lot of research that dovetails along with that.
I also report in Arizona, Florida, Alabama, and Georgia, which are also specialty crop states. And I'm wondering, are you going to be able to make any visits to any of those states? Anything planned coming up or anything that listeners in those areas should know about specifically?
Yeah, in December I was in Arizona, and did a roundtable with producers there. Heard a lot about, certainly labor was a big thing. We talked a lot about food safety, and then we also talked a lot about water, right? And I think that's a big issue in Arizona. And how do we maximize our irrigation, continue to be able to have farmers maintain their productivity as well as sustainability in their operations. We heard a lot about how important crop insurance is and how important crop insurance tailored towards specialty crop producers is. So those are some of the things that I heard. The deputy secretary was able to travel to Florida, and she met with researchers there last week and learned about some of the research that is happening in Florida for specialty crop producers. We'll also be traveling to California later this month to meet with specialty crop producers there as well.
So you guys are covering a broad area, just like our news does.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and this is a whole of department approach. So the deputy secretary, myself, undersecretary Taylor, who of course oversees our trade and foreign affairs, as well as Undersecretary Shavonda Jacobs-Young with research and economics, and Undersecretary Bonnie as well over farm production and conservation. So we recognize that specialty crop producers have a myriad of issues that span the department, and so we wanted to make sure that our department is really taking a one-stop shop approach for specialty crop producers.
Yeah, and I know we're about out of time, and you kind of just answered my last question, but my question was, if you wanted to expand on it, tell me about the benefits of bringing together so many departments to work on specialty crop issues.
Yeah, USDA has so many different resources, and it's important that we across the department are working together as we do, but also making sure that we have collective resources available for producers. So we have just developed a resource directory specific for specialty crop producers and researchers to make sure that our USDA services and resources are available. That's online at usda.gov/specialty-crops. We're also really interested in hearing, hence why we've had these roundtables, but we also have an open public comment period open to hear from the specialty crop industry about how our work that we're doing to support specialty crop producers, how the programs that we currently have can continue to support specialty crop producers. And so that also is available online. Folks can go onto that website, usda.gov/specialty-crops, and through March 8th, provide public comment to us on our programs and how we can continue to design our programs in a way that meets the needs of producers.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate the call and all of the work that you guys are doing.
Great, thank you.
Once again, that was USDA Undersecretary for Marketing and Regulatory Programs, Jenny Lester Moffitt. This has been the AgNet Weekly. I'm Sabrina Halvorson. Thank you for tuning in.